Can someone who was rejected at birth ever truly feel accepted? Punch's story didn't end with loneliness. In a zoo in Japan, a tiny macaque named Punch was born into the world fragile and uncertain. His mother refused to care for him, and from his very first moments, he had to survive without the warmth every newborn depends on. The keepers stepped in and raised him by hand. They fed him, protected him, and made sure he stayed safe. But growing up without a mother left something missing. As Punch got older, the time came for him to join the other monkeys. That's when a new struggle began. The group didn't immediately accept him. When he tried to sit close, they moved away. When he approached them, they often pushed him aside. Sometimes he was left standing alone while the others groomed and played together. He wanted to belong. He wanted to sit beside them. But again and again, he found himself alone in a quiet corner. And every time that happened, he reached for the same thing, a small, soft, stuffed toy. The keepers had given it to him when he was younger, just something to comfort him. But to Punch, it became much more than that. When the others ignored him, he held it tighter. When he felt uncertain, he pressed it against his chest. It was the only thing that never turned away. Days passed. Something slowly began to change. The group stopped reacting so strongly to his presence. Instead of pushing him away immediately, they sometimes allowed him to sit nearby. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't sudden, it was small, but it mattered. Then one day, something happened that no one expected. Punch was sitting quietly with his toy in his arms when an older monkey approached him. For a moment, it seemed like nothing would be different. Punch stayed still, almost bracing himself to be moved again. But this time, the older monkey didn't push him away. Instead, he sat down beside him. Slowly, gently, he reached out and pulled Punch closer. Not roughly, not cautiously, but firmly, as if he belonged there. For a few seconds, Punch froze. Then, something incredible happened. He relaxed. He loosened his grip on the toy and leaned into the older monkey's chest. It wasn't just contact. It looked like comfort, like protection, almost like a parent holding a child. For the first time, Punch wasn't clinging to fabric and cotton. He was being held. After that moment, things began to shift. He started spending more time near the group. He played more. He sat closer. And sometimes, that same older monkey would pull him in again, allowing him to rest beside him, as if he were his own. The monkey who had once been pushed aside was now being embraced. Punch's story isn't just about survival. It's about patience, about quiet resilience, about how even when rejection shapes the beginning of a life, it doesn't have to define the ending. For a while, a small stuffed toy was all he had. It kept him steady. It gave him something to hold on to. And maybe that was enough to help him wait, because eventually, someone held him back. And sometimes, that's all acceptance really is. Not a dramatic moment, just someone choosing not to push you away. And maybe that's the most beautiful part of Punch's story. The one who was rejected in his very first moments of life was the same one who, one day, found comfort in someone else's arms. For a while, all he had was a toy, fabric, cotton, silence. But he didn't give up. He didn't break. He waited. And then one day, someone chose not to push him away. Someone chose to hold him. Sometimes life leaves us alone at the beginning, so that when acceptance finally comes, we understand what it truly means. Punch was finally embraced. And maybe that's the reminder we all need. As long as the heart is still beating, the story isn't over.